Thanks to the support as a channel member, Kim Daniels. I massively appreciate you chucking all that money into the club again this summer. It's been a big help. The only problem is, have you seen the projection for this season? Yeah, it's going to take more than £1.5 million to save us. We need another investment in the youth setup. We need a bunch of 5-star superstars. We need another golden generation. We need billions. What's Mark up to? Is it any chance he's won the lottery or something? Hello and welcome to part 51 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first ever games in the Championship. We are away against Blackburn and at home against West Brom. They, I suspect, are quite good teams. Blackburn expected to finish third. West Brom expected to finish fourth. We're expected to finish 23rd and get relegated. This could be a proper baptism of fire in the Championship for this home side. The good news is, because we haven't brought in very many players, we've got excellent team cohesion, excellent club atmosphere, excellent managerial support. The off-the-field stuff is as good as you could possibly hope for it to be. The only issue is going to be a lot of these players probably not considered good enough to play at this level. Once you get past, I would say once you probably get past Harrison Davies, I imagine he's considered a Championship player. Yeah, he's a Championship player. Shay Charles, are you a Championship? Oh, Shay Charles is a Championship player. Renan is potential to be a Championship player. So, yeah, we've got 5 players who are considered current Championship players, but we do have another batch who are going to get there eventually. Alex Williams, for example, is expected to be a Premier League goalkeeper in the future. So, we know there's a lot of these who are going to get good and are going to need to take the step up, but we are ultimately going into the season with, I guess it's a reasonable core of Championship players, but it's probably not quite the level that Blackburn and West Brom are likely to have. So let's get on with it. Let's take our medicine. This might be the year we have to abandon the 4-2-4 if it's too attacking for this level, but we've got to go out there and do what we know how to do to begin with, at least to see just how tough things are going to be. You might have seen before, Micah Beerith is injured for the start of the season. He's got a twisted ankle and he's going to miss the first few weeks. So it does make my striker team selection that little bit easier, because it was only really Beerith who was in contention to start ahead of Hodgkinson, moving him out of the midfield. And I think it is time for Eli Campbell to start playing more regular football. Although he's a natural centre-back, with Davies and Charles ahead of him in the lineup, and him being a 3-star player and another one who's probably there or thereabouts as a Championship level player, he's going to play in midfield. And it might be long-term he becomes part of a back 3 with Davies in the middle, Charles on the right, Campbell on the left, and maybe take things from there. But I don't expect me to do a back 3. Do you really expect me to do a back 3? No. So we're going with Williams in goal, a back 4 of Bachelorette, Pitetta, Davies, Charles and Brewerton, Curry and Campbell in midfield, Hamilton and Hughes, new boy Euron Hughes out wide. In fact, he needs a face. We signed him on loan from Chelsea. No, not on loan, on a free transfer from Chelsea in the summer, and then Hodgkinson and Jessup up front. But before we go any further, let's get Euron Hughes a face. And there we have it. New boy has a face. Very handsome he is too. I think we actually gave a new face to Kieran Hodgkinson as well, because I think he lost his face when he was away from the club before. Look at all that hair he's got. What a hairy boy. But there we go. New faces allocated. It is time to get stuck into life in the Championship. We win this one. That's absurd. I've realised immediately I've not set up any set piece instructions or anything like that. So we're just going to be going with what we ended last season with when it comes to set piece takers and stuff like that, which I guess isn't that much of a big deal because there's only Hughes playing today who wasn't part of last season's team. So unless he's the greatest corner taker in the world, it won't come up in this game, and we'll have it sorted out for the next game. I'm not going to bother going in there and fiddling with it. It's a big day today for Tom Bachelorette Pitetta, who missed most of last season with an injury. He is back on loan for another year. He has lost a lot of his potential ability off the back of that broken, I think it was a broken ankle. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he starts the year. Andy Hall did kind of establish himself as our left back last season, and we are going to need Bachelorette Pitetta to get back to his best quickly for us to continue to persist with him. But, you know, he's my boy. He's the one who came through our youth system. So we've got to give him a try. We've got to give him the opportunity to force his way through. A good couple of saves from Alex Williams early on as well We are going to need a big season from him. He's been away for a lot of the summer playing for the England under-19s, where he is the starting goalkeeper for the England under-19s. And with potential Premier League football in his future as well, we are hanging a lot of hope on Alex Williams getting better and better, getting good quick, and making sure that we keep up with him and don't get ourselves into a situation where a big club comes in and takes him from us. Kieran Hodgkinson at the near post there, getting on the end of the header. Probably not the man that we want there. That's probably a part of the instruction that we need to tweak. He's playing in the position that's previously been our target man, but we're now not using a target man with Hodgkinson in there, going to the deep line forward with Hodgkinson. That's a lovely ball from Hughes. Jessup with the effort, but the goalkeeper is there to make the save for Blackburn. We've started brightly. We've had a couple of opportunities. Davies doesn't look out of place. Hodgkinson certainly doesn't look out of place. Neither does Williams. We know who our better players are. The key to success this season is how well the more fringe players play. Jessup is in, and he's offside. He's the first player to ever have the ball in the back of the net for home in the Championship, but unfortunately, it is disallowed. But like I say, bright start to the game. We are looking good early on. Brewerton nodding it down to Hughes as we intercept again from the Blackburn goal kick. We're trying not to give Blackburn room to play as ever. What a ball over the top from Charles. And this time Jessup stays onside. What a stunning pass from Shay Charles, though. This is a man who was playing for us in non-league and is now capable of hitting a pass like this in the Championship. Absolutely ridiculous. He just looks up, takes a step into the other half, looks for the run of Jessup, finds him perfectly, lands it on a sixpence. It's Blackburn 0, Home 1. What a pass, though. What a pass from Shay Charles. And I love this team. I love this team so very much. Right, let's give him a pat on the head. Apparently, Kieran Hodgkinson is tiring already. So there is an argument for bringing Renan on to make his club debut. Never played a game for us. But one of the reasons we're going with this deep line forward is because I think that's probably the role Renan ends up playing for us. As a striker, that linking striker with Jessup or Cannon or someone like that a little bit further ahead of him. We're going to leave Hodgkinson on for now. It looks like half time is giving him a little bit of recovery time, but don't be alarmed early in the second half when we see our Northern Irish Brazilian coming on to make his home debut. And like I say, big hopes pinned on him. If he ends up being a disappointment, I'm going to be very sad. Blackburn have got a good opportunity here. They are just camped out in our penalty area and we are defending desperately. There's a lot of men behind the ball here and Williams manages to keep hold of it from the eventual shot from Blackburn. But Blackburn clearly very keen to get themselves back into this game. It looks like Hodgkinson's actually picked up a knock. That's what that dugout message said. So, welcome to home, boys and girls. Renan, who, just as a reminder, we picked up on a free transfer from Ballymena. We sent him out on loan to Solihull Moors last year. He wasn't sensational in the National League, but he was only 17 when he went there. He's turned 18 over the summer, so he's still got plenty of time to become homegrown at club. But he's a Northern Irish under-19 international. He was born in Brazil, and just the idea of him being a Brazilian wonder kid. He's not a wonder kid, obviously, and he's not even properly Brazilian anymore. He's Northern Irish, but I'm getting excited at the fact we've just brought our first Brazilian on. This is what the Championship's like now. We've just got Brazilians playing for us because we're that fancy now. But it is Blackburn who've had all of the possession at the start of this second half, 10 minutes in, and I don't remember us touching the ball really other than Williams making a save. They've gone past Bachelorette Pitetta there and Williams once again making the save. Like I said, we need a big season from him. He certainly seems to be starting this season how he means to go on. Williams making many, many saves as we continue to keep Blackburn out. But it's them with the ball again, this time coming down our right-hand side. Hughes is there trying to prevent the cross coming in. He's actually a natural wing-back as well as winger, so an option for us if we do ever go to that back three, but also going to be useful linking up and tracking back there. There's Renan, plays the ball into Jessup. Jessup is in again, but couldn't really get the shot away at a tight angle. But I don't know if you can notice the intake of breath, the excitement when the ball gets near Renan, as I wonder what he's going to do. It's purely that he's Brazilian. If he was called, I'm trying to think of a stereotypical British name. It's not John Smith. You get the idea, though. If he was just called John Smith, we wouldn't be excited about him at all. This is not based on attributes. This is not based on scout reports. It's based on the fact he was born in Brazil. That's what excites me. Right, Bachelorette Pitetta is going to come off for Hall. Struggled to get up and running in the Championship so far, Bachelorette Pitetta. And I think we're also going to take off Hughes, the debut boy, and bring on Terrell Whitaker on that right-hand side. Although the temptation is there to bring on Troy Cannon and push Renan out wide. But for now, it's his debut. We'll let him continue up front for now. And Whitaker has got 200 home games under his belt at this point. I don't think Whitaker's going to come on and let us down. And in fact, here is Troy Whitaker with the breakaway. He's got Renan ahead of him in space. He plays him in. Renan has got all the time in the world on his debut. What a finish. Oh, he dunks it over the keeper, but it hits the base of the post. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this boy. If he scores that, we have a cult hero immediately. But millimetres in it, and it does stay out. It's Brewerton now with the throw, trying to get it into the area. Ends up with Nathan Curry lurking on the edge, and he plays it to Eli Campbell, who's not had a bad game in central midfield today. Hamilton's cut inside here, has the shot from range, but the Blackburn keeper more than equal to it. And with 9 minutes to go, I still am expecting Blackburn to find a way back into this game. They will definitely be feeling hard done by at the moment to be 1-0 down. And they've burst into the area here, but once again, Alex Williams is there to make the save. What a game he's had. Corner comes in now and Charles heads clear, finds Renan, who turns and plays it into Nathan Curry. Charles now to Brewerton as we reshape our attacking lineup, and Renan has joined in with that attack and is now on the right-hand side looking for the cross but couldn't beat his man, and now Blackburn have got the chance for a counter-attack of their own. And we are chasing to get players back here. Nathan Curry running hard, but Andy Hall is there to make the interception and just lumps it clear back into the Blackburn half. And there's now just a couple of minutes remaining. This could be such a crucial 3 points to us this season if we can just hold on. But it is a Blackburn free kick with 2 minutes to go. Williams couldn't quite get there. He got fingertips to it, but couldn't keep it out. And Blackburn on 88 minutes do get the equaliser that they absolutely deserve. But, oh, look how close Williams get. I never understand why goalkeepers do that. He's gone for that with his right hand, even though it's on the left side of him. He gets an extra inch or two if he goes for that with his left hand and potentially keeps it out. Goalkeepers are a strange bunch. But we have now conceded the goal, and now Matty Brewerton is going to get sent off as well, just to really put a sour end to what has been an excellent first game for us in the Championship. Nathan Curry can drop down there. We can just do this. This is relatively straightforward to accommodate having him go off. We're going to make him the playmaker, but move him over to that side. He can be box-to-box midfielder in there. And we don't have to lose too much. We don't have to lose any of our defensive shape. I'm moving Curry out to right back. And we do obviously lose a little bit up front by doing it, but we've got a corner. It's Nathan Curry floating in. Harrison Davies has scored in the 93rd minute. Our captain, our most experienced player, the boy who came through our youth system and has been a regular for us since age 16, has just scored a very, very late winner for us in our first game in the Championship. He is as close as anyone's ever going to get to a knighthood without getting one. If he's still our captain when we hit the Premier League, it's guaranteed. But he has just got us our first win in the Championship. Maybe we're not going to go straight back down afterwards, boys and girls. There was a lot of positives for us to take out of that game, plus the usual negative, but we're not going to worry about that. We're a bunch of thugs, and we don't care. Let's go and play West Brom. So one change for the West Brom game then, with Brewerton suspended. We've just shuffled everything around. So Shay Charles has gone out to right back, which means Eli Campbell drops back from midfield into the defence. Kieran Hodgkinson drops back from up front to the centre of midfield. And Troy Cannon comes in to replace Hodgkinson as the support striker alongside Jessup, playing in his familiar pressing forward role. Couldn't quite bring myself to start Renan ahead of Cannon just yet, but you know he's going to be coming off the bench to try and do something magical for us again as the game goes on if we need him. I have now got the set piece takers and everything set up properly as well, and I've adjusted the corner instructions to have it as Davies, Campbell and Charles, the ones who are going to be lurking to get on the end of corners rather than having one of our shorter strikers involved in things. But it is West Brom with the first corner of the game to get things underway, and Harrison Davies heads clear to Hughes, who's got a break on here, and he's got clear of his man. He's showing his pace here, and we have got an option in the middle. I think is it Cannon? Either way, it doesn't matter because Hughes has done really well and won us a penalty. And Tom Bachelor-Ekpiteta has the opportunity to score our first goal at the home of football in the Championship. And he does. A homegrown player who started in the very first match of the series has just scored our first goal in our new stadium in the second tier of English football. Tom Bachelor-Ekpiteta is back, boys and girls. What a penalty. 1-0 to home. And this is fairy tale stuff at the moment. This is the difference that having strong dynamics makes. Our dynamics is absolutely spot on because we've come up in excellent form. We've got ourselves promoted. We haven't fiddled around with the squad too much at all. So this is a bunch of players who believe in themselves. And that is such a difference maker in Football Manager, especially FM21. Morale seems to be the be-all and end-all. I know there's a few people down in the comments who give it all that this is why Gegenpress, blah, 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 blah. It's not Gegenpress. Gegenpress is a good system that suits the players that we've got. But, you know, we got 6 of our 7 promotions using a wing play system. It's not all about Gegenpress. We switched to a Gegenpress when it was the system that suited the players. And I mean, I don't see the harm in using the gegenpressing system when it works for the players that you've got. You certainly can't use it with players that it doesn't work for. So I think we've done quite well to put together a team and recognise the right time to switch to a system that is my preferred way of playing football. I like all the chasing down. One of my favourite footballers of all time is Craig McHale-Smith for Peterborough, who was the definition of a pressing forward in a game. He was constantly running, constantly pressing. My favourite posh sides have played you wouldn't have called it a gegenpress at the time because we're going back 10 years and we were doing it in League One, but we were constantly pressing and chasing and running and moving the ball around quickly. I love this kind of system, so I ain't going to stop using it just because a few people think it's overpowered in Football Manager, especially because everybody's big buddy Zealand did that video a little while ago now showing what the most overpowered systems in Football Manager 21 were, and Gegenpress and 4-2-3-1 were not near the top of the list. So I will not hear it. Argue with Zealand, don't argue with me. Right, Hughes has got the ball on the right-hand side again as we lead 1-0 at half-time against West Brom. If we end up winning both of our first games of this season, that really is an excellent start for a team that was supposed to get relegated. It's all about points on the board. I'm very much in avoiding relegation mode at the start of this season. We want to get to 50 points as quickly as possible because then we'll feel safe and then we'll worry about what comes next once we get there. Charles with the throw, looking for Jessup, finds Jessup, but his header isn't on target. It goes just wide of that far post, and going 2-0 up there would have been beautiful. Nathan Curry with the in-swinging corner finds Harrison Davies. The keeper scrambles it off the line, but Davies is a massive threat from these set pieces in both of these opening 2 games. Hodgkinson picking up the ball in midfield again, and we're having a look at the Hawkeye situation. And that ball, if that's the shadow of the ball, it looks like it's crossed the line there. We've been robbed. Ridiculous stuff. We could and should be 2-0 up, and Harrison Davies should be one of the top scorers in the Championship with 2 goals from 2. He might still be yet, but it's West Brom coming down this right-hand side now, and they've tried to get the crossover, but Bachelor-Ekpiteta is there to block it, and they have a shot from range, and Williams has that covered all the way. Future England #1, Alex Williams. You're not beating him with a shot like that. You got to do better than that, West Brom. We're not some dodgy old League One side with a dodgy old League One goalkeeper. Right, we are going to bring Renan on the left-hand side. I was actually looking at him in between the 2 matches, and the coach report suggests he's going to be a Championship left winger in the future, and that might actually end up being his strongest position. His natural position is still as a striker, but with only 11 finishing, it probably is worth giving him a little bit of a try out wide on this side. If we make him an inside forward rather than an inverted winger, because his crossing isn't too hot, but as an inside forward, the only thing he's really missing is long shots and a little bit of anticipation, but the anticipation is going to cost him playing as a striker as well. So it's just something at aged 18 he needs to work on in his game and he'll get better at. But attribute-wise, he probably is suited just as well to playing out there on the left as he is to playing up front. What else are we going to do? We're going to take off Hughes. and bring on Whittaker on that side, and that will do for now. Hughes is he's not used to playing regular football, so he just needs to work on his natural fitness. He needs to work on his natural fitness. Just needs to work on his match fitness level so he can make it through a game. Kieran Hodgkinson is now tired as well. We've got Bandera who can come on for him, so that's a pretty easy substitution to make in midfield. Mauro Bandera, probably expecting to be a starting player again this year, as we were pretty sure that Hodgkinson wasn't coming back, but he's back, and Bandera is going to have to get used to a lot of time coming off the bench again. But West Brom are in here because of a missed header from Davies. It would be a little bit of a shame for him to be the hero of the first match, only to have his mistake lead to the goal in this second one, although there's been so much build-up play since then. I don't think you can trace this back directly to Davies. Curry needs to be careful there. He's got away with one, I think, because he's come through the back of the defender, but nothing has been given. And Troy Cannon is on the break, gives it to Hodgkinson, who lines up the shot from range, but somehow the defender's got a block in there. And now West Brom are on the break through Carlin Grant, who certainly at the launch of FM21 was one of the top strikers to pick up in the game. I guess he's probably not quite developed into that in this save if he's now still playing for West Brom down in the Championship in 2026. But he's obviously going to be a danger man against a bunch of defenders who all signed for us in non-league. Ball forward, looking for Renan on that left-hand side, but can't find him. The West Brom goalkeeper is there and is equal to it again. And we've, similar to the situation in the last game, we've got 5 minutes left. We are still 1-0 up. Bachelorette Pitetta, after being the hero and scoring our penalty, has given away the late penalty, and we now need Alex Williams to step up and be a hero. He can't quite get there. It's 1-1. And similar to what I was saying at this point of the Blackburn game, I don't know. It actually is different to the Blackburn game. In the Blackburn game, Blackburn deserved their goal. I actually think in this one, look at the XG. We've had 3.1 XG. We've been the better team here. I'm feeling a little hard done by not being sat here ahead in the game. That being said, we take 4 points from these first two games all day long, but it would be even better if we could make it 6. Bandera plays it across to Curry to Whittaker. Whittaker trying to slot it in for Jessup. Or in fact, Curry, I think it was, but couldn't get there. Bandera to Curry again. And Bandera to Renan. Can we have some magic from Renan? He gives it back to Bandera. That's a poor pass for Bachelorette Pitetta, and it's left us in trouble here. Luckily, Davies is there to cover, but lumps it forward to no one in particular, and we're going to get it delivered straight back to us again here, but Davies is there once again to make the header. Bandera now to Renan. Bachelorette Pitetta is in acres of space on this side, but Renan doesn't need him. I said there's going to be magic in his feet, and that is an incredible way to get your first goal as an 18-year-old at a new club. Renan cutting in from the left-hand side, doing exactly what we wanted him to do when we stuck him out there rather than up front. They left him time and space to get the shot away. No one's challenging him, and I don't think he's going to be left alone to do that too many more times in his career. It's a lovely finish from Renan. It's home 2, West Brom 1, and we've won both of our first 2 games at Championship level. We are top of the league, boys and girls, and we did it all thanks to a Brazilian Northern Irish player, or a Northern Irish Brazilian, whichever way round it is. Ryan Giggs is here having a look. I thought he was going to be coming and having a look at Harrison Davies as Wales manager, but no, he's Brentford manager, and he's just checking up on Nathan Curry. But that was a brilliant start to the season. 2 similarly shaped games in the end. We go ahead, we concede late, we score even later, and rather excitingly, 4,000 people crammed into the home of football to watch it all happen. Right, we'll play through a few games before tomorrow's episode now. Something very exciting is that we've got our local derby against city rivals Peterborough later on this season as well. So we'll be sure to show that in a couple of days' time. But for tomorrow, we'll come back somewhere in here and then be back ready to face Posh the day after. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.